Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? It is great to have you with me. The Minnesota Vikings, in exactly 40 minutes, will be kicking off against the Dirty Birds of Atlanta. And you know what? We still got 1998 on our minds. That will never go away, even though none of the players or coaches or even the owners were part of that team. Well, we as Vikings fans, we were part of that team. So you best be believing we coming for you. We coming for you, Dirty Birds. We got a lot to cover in only a short amount of time, so let's just get right into the shout-outs. We got Grandpa Dave in the building. SKOL to the upcoming victory. You are correct, me boy. SKOL Mafia, my SKOL brother. Purple Gang in the business hall. The medicine. I like that. Mateo's going on, man. Good to see you. Nordera saw no chance it was slim without him. I totally disagree. I bet Campbell would be on that just side and he's got 21-10. Mr. Negativity, Mateo. I'm just playing with you. You know that. Vikings fans, 1, 2, 3. SKOL, SKOL, SKOL. What's going on? We got the OG, the McAndrews. Thank you so kindly for joining me. We got my guy, Ryan. Moved my aunt into assisted living and saw some family this weekend. Went to church and now ready to see what Jerry Mahomes Hall can do. Well, shout out to you and your family. Prayers up for your aunt and all that good stuff. Vikings fan says don't tell Rap, but I like him. Well, me and Rap will be on tonight, 8 o'clock Central Time. It will be over on Rap's channel because we rotate, but I digress. Todd's in the building. What's going on, Todd? It's Jerry Mahomes time. You are correct. We got Norpheus in the building. I ain't seen you for a minute, Norpheus. What's going on? What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. All righty. Cut that music. Oh, that's right. I didn't actually loop it this time. Wipe your feet at the door and hit them like buttons if you haven't done so already. And if you don't already subscribe, hit the subscribe button if you could, please. Now, y'all know how we start my show each and every time. That's right. Each and every time. We give some shout outs to the people in the building, and we give shout outs to a few other people as well. Excuse me, Norpheus, but I'm going to take your comment down. Anyway, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is that time where we shout out the active and veteran members of all of our branches of all of our militaries for the service that they continue to give us, have given us, so that freedom may reign, so that we have the freedom less than an hour before the kickoff to sit and chat, get a little beer in us, get some food in us, all the freedoms that we enjoy every single day. That's right, every single day. Thank you so very, very much for your hard work and sacrifice, and to your families as well. To the brave men and women who serve in law enforcement, firefighters, or EMS, who in times of tragedy are the ones running towards the danger while the rest of us are simply trying to get away from it. You potentially put your lives on the line every single day that you go to work. That has not been lost. Trust me, we all know, and we say shout out to you and thank you. To the doctors, nurses, surgeons, frontline workers, home health care providers, when we have medical needs and seek medical attention, it is your Super Bowl to save a life. Every brave man and woman that I have named here today and that I name at the beginning of every one of my show at times can work very thankless jobs. So we say thank you, or at least I do, for as long as I got a microphone. All righty, we're going to speed through this here. You know, I always say, oh, Justin, keep it under this amount of minutes. Don't be rambling on, gambling, and all the other stuff. We all start with the NFC North Roundup, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Vikings and the Falcons. We've got the Packers and the Rams. We've got the Bears and the Saints all at the noon hour. So after the first set of games, the whole NFC North will play because the Lions are sitting on a bye. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't know how in the world Green Bay is favored by 3.5 points. I know it's at home, and I know the Rams are just kind of mediocre themselves at 3-5. Green Bay should not be favored against anybody, except maybe Carolina. That's it. I'm taking the Rams. So, again, if you're a gambling person, take the Rams plus the points because I think the Rams are going to win that game outright. The New Orleans Saints favored now by 9 against the Bears. The New Orleans Saints better win that game. The Bears are absolutely terrible. So, hopefully, we get another weekend where the Vikings win and the Packers lose. And, you know, if the Bears were to lose too, so much the better. I'm not actually all that upset if the Bears win a couple of games. And you know what? Once the Packers are eliminated from the playoffs, other than that New Year's Eve game against our team, yeah, you know, the Packers can win a couple games here and there. Get them out of the Caleb Williams, Drake May sweepstakes. But I digress. Let me get some shouts real quick because I know we got a couple of new people in the building. We got Eric from New Mexico. What is going on? We got you and Florinda. Thank you so kindly for joining me. Let's see here. I thought I saw one more. There he is, Six Shooter. What's up? What's up? Thank you kindly, as always, for each person that has joined me this morning. I appreciate all you guys and gals. Although I'm looking for my queens here. Where Mary at? Where's Sarah at, y'all? But anyway, shout out to Mary as well. Keep your prayers up for Mary. Y'all know the drill. And I don't mean to shortchange or anything. It's just, we just keep the train going. Just keep the train going. All right, first topic of the day, the big man, Christian Darrisaw, out, as Mateo said earlier. Mateo, I'm going to put your comment back up here. No Darrisaw, no chance. I disagree. There is no tape on Jared Mahomes Hall. Is he a rookie? Yes. But you still got Jordan Addison, KJ, and TJ. So I think Kevin O'Connell will be able to scheme up. You chip up. You put a tight end on that side. You chip him with a running back. Atlanta's defense is pretty good, and I'm going to talk about the defenses here in a second. So, yes, this is a major blow that last week at this time, we had Kirk Cousins and Christian Darrisaw. If we have both of those guys, I say Vikings by at least 10. But what are we going to do about that? Well, we're going to have to run to the right side a little bit. We're going to have to hope that Dalton Reisner continues his good performances. Again, he's a one-man wrecking crew when it comes to pass blocking, and he's got those quick hands and explosive hands, or whatever the phrase that Grandpa Dave used to say about that. And he knows a little something about offensive linemen, the big round bellies, as he would say. But I digress. This is absolutely a big loss, but I don't think it's one that we can't overcome. I think Kevin O'Connell is going to be shortening up the playbook for Jared Mahomes Hall anyway, to being like, hey, I'm not going to throw the whole playbook at this guy. I'm going to keep it simple. We're going to have to rely on our running game. Now we're going to really have to rely on our running game because our all-world left tackle who takes the blind side of Jared Mahomes Hall is out. I'm not saying that, no big deal. We'll just put the backups in, that we got this. No big deal. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, yes, it absolutely it absolutely is a big loss, but I don't think it's one we can't overcome. Put it in the comments. Outside of Mateo, I already got yours. He says no chance. I don't believe that. But you guys tell me what you guys think. Is this a death nail? Is this one of those deals where, holy cow, we're dead and doorknob? No, I don't think that at all. I don't think that at all. Todd, we can do things with Hall that we couldn't do with Kirk. Thank you. Yes, this whole thing called scrambling. I mean, Kirk could scramble a little bit, and he was doing a good job of navigating the pocket. That's what is so unfortunate, is that Kirk was really, really the best version of himself this season. And we finally got a halfway decent defense and a pretty good offensive line. Such a Vikings thing. Shout out to Julian in the building. What's going on? Good to see you, Julian. Hey, you know what? We are now just 34 minutes away. And we have an opportunity for the first time this season to get above 500. What's the score? It is 21-14 Chiefs with 2 minutes to 28 seconds left. Miami has the ball at their own 25-yard line. So there's your update. Ryan. So there you go. Okay. Any more new buddies? Let's see. Barrington Fran talked to Hall and said, if you play, there you go. And you know what? Jared Mahomes Hall might be saying that. It's like, you know what? First read, second read. Okay, I'm out of here. And that's fine. You can't sustain that for the whole rest of the season through 9 games. But as you're, getting your feet wet, taking your maiden voyage, hey, I'll take anything. I'll take anything at this point. All righty, let's get back to the next theme of the morning here. From colonels to generals, we got Heineke and Jared Mahomes Hall. Last week, they were the backups. This week, they're the starters. They got promoted from colonel to general. All I'm going to say about it is this. Jared Mahomes Hall has been sitting behind the tutelage of Kirk Cousins and under the tutelage of Kevin O'Connell. Taylor Heineke, who's he been behind? Ritter, who's his head coach? Last I checked, a pretty big buffoon, if you ask me. So as much as it's ridiculous on one hand to say that Taylor Heineke doesn't have the advantage because he's a veteran, I would say he doesn't necessarily have the advantage either because he's surrounded by not much offensively. Yeah, Bijan Robinson, he's good. And for whatever reason, the Atlanta Falcons don't make Bijan Robinson their workhorse, and I don't know why. It is ridiculous. Now, I know he was coming off a little bit of injury a couple of weeks ago, but as I have said, if you are a running back and you're playing, being on a pitch count, that's just stupid. If you need to take you need to take another week off to get to 95% or 100% so that you get your full current workload, then fine. But, having a running back in there say, okay, we're only going to give him 12 touches, or 15 touches, something like that. It's like, that makes no sense to me. So I really hope that Atlanta continues to not give Bijan Robinson the ball. I mean, look back at, I believe it was week 2, maybe week 3, against the Green Bay Packers. He ran for 170 some yards on those fools. And I said it at the time because our defense hadn't risen to the occasion as they have over the last few weeks. And our running defense was so bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, Bijan Robinson, if he keeps going like this and our run defense keeps going like this, he might break Adrian Peterson's single game record. Anyway, we talked a little bit more about Jared Mahomes-Hall. Again, he doesn't have the experience that Heineke does. So that goes in Heineke's column. Absolutely. But I don't think that Heineke has the weapons. And it is unfortunate that we don't have JJ. Hopefully we get him back next week. Although Adam Schefter's like, well, he could come back next week, but the Vikings are going to make sure he's 100% healthy. So thank you, Adam Schefter. And water's wet. Tell us something we don't already know. In-depth reporting. Listen, I like Schefter, but come on, dude. Do a little better than, well, the Vikings are going to make sure he's totally good before he comes back. Really? Okay. Anyway, Jared Mahomes-Hall. He's the general now. It's his ship. And I don't care about this guy we traded for from the Arizona Cardinals, Dobbs. Dobbs is that's all well and good. Dobbs, what has Dobbs got? Nothing. The evidence shows he's got nothing. Well, he was playing with Arizona. I don't care. I said it before. I'll say it again. Jared Mahomes-Hall needs to have all 9 games unless he gets injured. I don't want to hear about, well, this guy gives us a slightly better chance to get one more victory and maybe we can squeak into the playoffs as a 7 seed. I don't want a guy like Dobbs. Excuse me. I don't want Dobbs getting us to 9 wins, getting us the 7 seed, and getting bounced in the first round. Now, if Jared Mahomes-Hall does that, and he goes, say, 6-3 over the next 9 games, we end up at 10-7, or even 5-4 to end up at 9-8. That's something different because he's a rookie. That means he would be progressing. That means we would have something. You have to adjust your expectations. If we were the 7 seed with Kirk Cousins, that's a disappointment. If we're the 7 seed with Jared Mahomes-Hall, that's something to be proud of. Dobbs ain't getting us there. I don't care. Well, he's never played with Jefferson and Addison and TJ. He's never had a good offensive line. I'd rather see that from Jared Mahomes-Hall. I'm just sorry. That's just me. All right, back to the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You know all the drill. We got to hit the reset button. We got Dayon in the building. What's going on, my brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. We got Frozen North in the building. We appreciate you there as well. Julian, to the Jared Mahomes-Hall bit, that is something that Rap started when we drafted him. And it's just kind of stuck. And now that he's actually the starting quarterback, we just go with Jared Mahomes-Hall. Now, whether Rap came up with it, or as Northeast says, he coined it, I don't know. I heard it from Rap, but at the end of the day, that's what we do. Jared Mahomes-Hall. So there you go. Hall should play the remainder. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. I totally agree with you. I think we either sink or swim or rise the ball with Hall. No Dobbs, please. Totally agree with you there, Todd. Totally agree. It's absolutely ridiculous. If they had, say, maybe traded for Jacoby Brissett, then I could listen to that. Again, I would still say, okay, what are you doing here? You're trying really hard to be the 7 seed to get bounced. Again, if you're the 7 seed and get bounced with a rookie quarterback, that means more. That means something to me. That means something to me. Storm and Mormon is 100 times better than Mormon Missile. There is that. There is that, Frozen North. I can't disagree with you there. All right, what's next on the extravaganza? Dueling defenses. I had said in my first score prediction, 27-20 Vikings. And, I'm going to modify that a little bit because I wouldn't tell you my real prediction this far into the show. I always save that for the end. But dueling defenses. Okay. So the Vikings are on the bottom and the Falcons are on the top. Now, I have to remember, I wrote this down, and like an idiot, I lost the piece of paper that I had this wrote down on. So if you guys can indulge me for just a quick moment, I can't remember if I did points allowed and then yardage, or if I did yardage and points then allowed. So we're just going to have to go over here, and this is per game. Now, this is not total. This is per game. Okay, so so that's yards. Okay, so it goes points against per game and then yards per game. Both of them right dab smack in the middle in yardage, 14th and 16th. And again, for where the Vikings were last season, we'll take that. But you know what? 6 points against for Atlanta and 11 For us, this is going to be a low-scoring game unless something crazy happens. Kickoff, return touchdowns, pick six, scoop and scores, that sort of thing. And the Vikings defense in particular is going to need to step up. And I said this on Monday when we saw Kirk Cousins going out. The defense has elevated its game each week, okay? With Brian Flores at the helm, they've done a pretty good job of improving each week. Side note, I don't know why I forgot to do that. I'm going to say this. Vikings defense better bring it. And it's Taylor Heineke. You better bring it against that guy. We played him last year. We beat him 20-17. Another comeback, one-score victory. We didn't play very well in the first half, but we got him in the end. And Taylor Heineke, yeah, he put up 17 points, and 7 of them came off that bull crap where the ref ran into our safety and let the ball fall right into the wide receiver. So, and again, we don't know how that drive would have turned out had that not happened. It's called the butterfly effect, but all you can say is what you can say. He put up 17 points against us. Is Washington any ostensibly better or worse offensively than what the Falcons got for him right now? I don't know. Tough to say. I mean, you can go back and look at rankings this and players that. Yeah, Bijan Robinson is better than anything that the football team had last year at the running back position. But sans that, the defense is going to have to hold up their end of the bargain a little bit more now that Kirk Cousins is out. I still think that even with Christian Darrisaw being out, as we talked about earlier, and the fact that you are starting a rookie quarterback, 5th-round rookie quarterback, I still think you can do enough. You can do enough offensively to get to 17 to 20 points. So defensively, you're going to have to hold these guys down, and it shouldn't be all that difficult with Taylor Heineke. Flores, blitz 60% of the time. Yeah, blitz this dude. He ain't going to be able to handle the blitz. And he might handle it once or twice. Okay, once or twice, whatever. That's fine. Get some turnovers, get some 3 and outs. I'm just saying, defense, it's a defensive game. I'm not going to put it at the level of, say, the Pittsburgh-Baltimore rivalry. Okay, when Big Ben and his team was in their prime, and Ed Reed and Ray Lewis, okay, and Troy Polamalu, all those guys, okay, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. But I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, which probably means, because we're talking about how well these defenses are, probably going to end up my original 27-20, because that's just always what happened. When everybody thinks one way, it ends up going the other. So let's get back to some shout-outs. No, you coined Storm and Norman. All right, I got you, North Feast. I got you. Skolger Soup, what's going on? Shout out Skolger Soup in the building. What's going on? Here we go. Hall's Judgment Day has arrived. Well, his first test. I don't know that we can say Judgment Day like it's all or nothing. Like, if he goes out there and just stinks up the joint, I still give him the start next week at home. I mean, I already said I give him all 9 starts barring injury. And you know what? If he does what Will Levis did, which I would love to see, but I'm not calling for that. If he pulls up 4 touchdowns against these boys like Will Levis did, I'll be excited and I'll be happy as all heck. Do I really think that that's going to happen? No. And even if it did, would that be Judgment Day? Like, oh, he has arrived. Nah, not quite yet. We have a running game. We have to get our running game going. Yes, absolutely. There's absolutely no question about that. I was going to get into that here, but since you said it, all right, let's just get that out of the way. For the love of all things, Kevin O'Connell, I don't know what Alexander Madison has on you or your family, but he should not be the bell cow. I love the dude. Met his father. Met a couple of his family members in person. I've said that for weeks. I'm just saying, he's a number 2 running back. He doesn't got what it takes to be a number 1 running back. And by the way, against this Atlanta Falcons team, I want no part of Alexander Madison getting all the touches. Get Cam Akers involved. Yes, I know. I'm moving my mic stand so I can get the lovely towel that Miss Mary got for me. There we go. Anyway, in all seriousness, production value, ladies and gentlemen, production value. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. Like Mateo, over under on 20 screens. I'll take the under because I think it's going to be about 19. Oh no, he's out, Frozen North. That was the first topic I had. He's out. He's totally out. As is Lewis Seen. Where's my guy T-Bass to just drop the Lewis Seen line yet again? T-Bass loves talking about Lewis Seen, but I digress. And that's a whole nother conversation topic for a whole nother day. But at the end of it, that's all we can do at this point. Shout out to Yogi in the building. What's going on, Yogi? Great show over on Vikings First and SKOL this morning. Appreciate you. Let's see here. What else we got? Blowfishes. What's going on? Shout out Blowfishes. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Vikings need to stop the run. Oh, yes, absolutely. And if they want to run quarterback draws with Taylor Heineke, I invite that because he will get destroyed by Hicks and Ivan Pace if that's where they're going to end up going. But yes, we do need to stop the run. And that's what I was saying earlier. Blitz this guy, whether it's run blitzes or pass blitzes. I don't care. If it's a run blitz and the running back didn't get the ball, then keep on going and hit the quarterback. It's really that simple. I know. No, it's not. But hopefully. All right, Norsefius, thanks for bringing that to our attention. Chiefs win. Okay. I didn't get a chance to see that this morning, but Akers should be starting. Yeah, again, I totally agree. Been saying that, and I don't know why. Ryan says, could they do a split backfield? They could. Anything. Split backfield. Akers starting and Madison staying in the role that he's always been in as the backup running back. Fine. I don't care. Just do something. This running game should not be this anemic. Shout out Caesar in the building, wondering how long is going to be an influence Dob and having on Cousins and same. Oh, that reminds me. Thank you kindly. Jaron Hall was interviewed yesterday, or maybe it was Friday, talking about what has Kirk Cousins done for you and how has he helped you out and all those sorts of things. Let's give that a once over here real quick.
Kirk is he's always the most prepared guy in the field, and so for me it's just watching how studious he is in his preparation. He's always dotting his I's, crossing his T's, asking questions, and that's something I really respect just about the way he approaches the game and making sure he knows his game plan better than anybody else. And I think that's the tell of being the quarterback that he is and being that successful. It's your first game, just like any great leader, as Kirk would share, just to stay calm and just to rely on the guys around you in your preparation.
I meant to play that one earlier. As you can see, the banner was supposed to match up. So thank you for reminding me again. My mind's a little whatever this morning. But Frozen North, good comment here. He's very much a running back. I totally agree. More Ty Chandler and less Madison. Elevate McBride. I don't care at this point. But to Mateo's comment, seeing this so bad, he makes Tyrell Johnson look like an NFL. Now that's I agree wholeheartedly with Muffrius. That is savage. Shout out to SKOL for Life Barber 1975. What's going on? Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Okay, I'm at 22 minutes, so I might actually get this in under 30. I got one more theme for you, then we'll get to predictions, and then we'll get up out of here. So first off, I didn't have it looping, so let's get this one in here. This one's called Daydream. So we're going to daydream with this a little bit. Where am I going with this? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game. Well, you know what? The Vikings have won 3 games in a row. They were 1-4, and if we lose this game, then sell. I'll fully cop to that because that's what would have been the right thing to do. But they've won 3 games in a row, starting with San Francisco. Excuse me. Well, yeah, starting with Chicago, then San Francisco. But the real start of actually winning a game was San Francisco. But I digress. You got 2 opponents in the next 2 weeks. The Atlanta Falcons, the Dirty Birds, who beat us in 1998. So we still got some animosity for that. And then next week, we got the New Orleans Saints. Oh, yeah, 2009. Seriously. But you're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. And if you win these next 2 games, you got tiebreakers over both of these teams. So I'm not saying that, hey, if we win these next 2 games, playoffs, here we come. No, we'd be 6-4 at that point. Now, again, 1 game at a time. How many times we heard that cliche? A bazillion. But what I'm saying is this. You know what? As crappy as this season has started, and as crappy as it is that we lost our field general in Kirk Cousins, you win these next 2 games, then you got a tough one in Denver before you get Chicago. You could very easily be 8-4 at the bye week. And you'd be on a how many game winning streak would that be? How many? That'd be 8. Excuse me, 7. 7 games. They're all winnable. Now, again, the biggest challenge for me would be the Denver game, assuming it stays on Sunday night because you flying to Denver and rookie quarterback and that sort of thing. With Kirk, I would say absolutely we can win all of these games. And then you got your bye week, and then you got the Vegas Raiders after that. So if you're 8-5 or 9-4, you're in a good spot. Even though you've got a very tough 4-game stretch at the end with Cincy, Detroit, Green Bay, and Detroit again. Now, again, I'm not going to talk about winning this division unless Detroit has another faux pas like they did against against the Baltimore Ravens. Because you know what? As much as we can talk about our schedule, okay, everybody say, hey, the Vikings got a really easy, we're coming up on the easy part of our schedule. You know what? Detroit has a pretty easy schedule themselves too. Okay, so let's slow our roll on that. But yes, if we can stay within 2 games, we control our own destiny. If destiny can be controlled anyway. But yeah, here's what the Lions got. Now they come back next week out of their bye, going to the Chargers. That's a losable game. That's a 50-50 game, just like it was for us. But then they go Bears, Packers, Saints, Bears, Broncos. Same teams we're playing. So if we're going to say, hey, the Vikings can make some hay here and we can sneak into the playoffs, you know what? We got to say the same thing about Detroit. They're better than us right now. It's okay to say that. Now, have we been improving each week? Yes. Have the Lions been really, really good and had couple bad games here and there? Yeah. So we'll see. But for right now, when we're talking about playoffs, you got to think about the wild card first. And again, getting these 2 games are 2 games you are fighting, or 2 teams you're fighting with to maybe get into that 6 seed, maybe even get to that 7 seed. Who the heck knows? That's why these next 2 games are important. And I never thought we'd be saying that when we started out 1-4. Like, really? We gonna talk about playoffs? Why? Why we even talking about this? Because there's no point to it. But right now, as it stands, when you're looking at the conference standings, the Vikings are in the playoffs at the 7 seed at the moment. Now, so yes, you can keep going. But again, the Saints are 4-4. You're tied with them. Tampa Bay is 3-4. You're tied with them. And the Falcons, they're also, 4-4, if I recall correctly? If I recall recollectly, I digress. That's right. They're 4-4, and they're leaving the division. I'm looking down there. So, again, the NFC South, there's 3 teams going about that one. So all I'm going to say is this, and then we're going to wrap up and get out of here. Let you guys have enough time to get your beers and your drinks. Put your final score predictions in the chat. Put your food itinerary and drink itinerary in the chat. See what everybody else got going on. But the point I'm making is this: you get these next 2 games, aside from the fact that you're already technically the 7th seed because you have the tiebreaker at the moment over the New Orleans Saints based on winning percentage in conference games. So you got the conference tiebreaker over them. Win these next 2 games, and then we'll actually see where we are. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So let's reset. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if this is your first time here. And let's get one more set of music while we get up out of here. Back to the comments. Y'all know how we do this. Okay. The poise Hall has seen. Absolutely. I said that in training camp. He's loquacious. He's mature. And this moment does not seem too big for him. The irony, I'm at work 6 and I have a big... There you go. Hoping the Vikings don't get stuck to another cousin contract for a disc. Yes. I mean, again, we're going to talk about that a little bit more during the live show season. But you're right. I'm so sick of these void years. Get it done and get it over with. Brian, time for some revenge for 98 and 09. We are totally on the same page. Time to move on. Yeah. Again, we'll get back to that. I've wanted away from Cousins for the longest, yet his recent plays made me worth re-signing to a reasonable contract. If he wants top 5 money, let him go. Well, you want to stop 5 money less? No, he's not going to sign a 1-year deal. And even with that, and again, I would have loved to have seen how this season turned out. But I'll say this. I said this on my show last week. Let's take Kirk Cousins' name out of this for a second. If there was a free agent quarterback that was a good, not great quarterback, who was 36 years old, coming off an Achilles injury, we'd all be saying, no, we show me what's behind door 2. We would not, if we didn't already have Kirk Cousins, we don't already have the relationship and the history that we had with him. There is no way we'd be okay with signing a 36-year-old quarterback coming with 1 playoff win, coming off an Achilles injury. So I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be, people call me a Kirk Cousins hater, which is totally not true. I'm just saying it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever about trying to talk about, well, can we get him on a discount? I don't want him on a discount. Even I don't want any quarterback coming off an Achilles, discount or not. Northfield says we got to see what the storm and moment. You get your roll on. That's right. Get your old Dante roll on. Everybody get your roll on something, anything. Blowfish says 24-19 we lose. Todd says 21-7 we win. Dayon says 24-18. That's an interesting score, but hey, I'll take it. Hall's cough drops, orange juice, and energy drink. Ryan says beer menu, Surly and junkyard food, leftover pizza, and he says 2017. I'll take that. Oh yeah, everybody go on over to Purple Rain 247 for their watch party this afternoon. So basically head on over there as soon as we get up out of this mess. Veteran quarterback can make KLC or any coach look good or bad. Rookie quarterback can do the same. Now you'll see if KLC. Yes, this is why you hire KLC in the first place. This is why excuse me. This is why you hire an offensive-minded coach to bring in the next quarterback. So that's pretty much all there is. That's all there is to it. Yeah, again, it was an arm injury. I think it was a torn bicep, not an Achilles. A torn bicep, you can heal up from that a lot more than you can a torn Achilles. But that's a fair point either way, Blowfish. It's a fair point. Darian, what's going on? Shout out Darian in the building. I've never been so nervous. Well, it's 2 4-4 teams. I was a little more nervous at the NFC Championship games we alluded to, but I get your point. It's a nervous energy, but you know what? It's an optimistic nervous energy. It's like, okay, let's see what we got one way or the other. It's not just about one game. It's about what does this kid have? What does this kid have? But thanks for joining there. Appreciate you. Shout out In the Zone podcast. What's going on? Hobo ball out. We win by 13. You know, without Darisaw, I'm going to say that's a little aggressive. With Darisaw, I would have said 7 because I did say 7. I said 27 to 20, but I'll give you my final predictions here in just a minute when I get through these last chats. There's one of the queens. Sarah's in the building. Why? I don't get people calling Kwesi all sorts of names for drafting Booth because he has an injury history, but they want us to draft it. Yes, absolutely, Sarah. That you ain't lying. You are not lying. But thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Dylan in the building. What's going on, KOC? Get this running game. Yes, get this running game going. Absolutely. Keep SKOL alive, baby. You ain't right. You ain't wrong. Don't waste any more of JJ's prime trying to justify. Yeah, I totally. I agree. It's just time. It's just time. That's Favre, though. He's a Hall of Famer, and Kirk's not. Fair enough. All righty. Final score. And then we get out of here. Give you a little bit of time to get your food and drinks ready. With Christian Darisaw, as I said, I had him at 27 to 20. Now I'm going to say 23 to 17. And it's ridiculous that I took 3 points off of Atlanta because we lost Christian Darisaw. It doesn't have anything to do with it. But what I'm saying is that now, without him, I think they're going to change their offensive philosophy a touch more. So I'm going to say 23-17. Vikings get the W. Jaron Mahomes Hall gets his first victory in his first start coming on home next week. And we're going to have a blast after exercising one demon from years past. We're going to exercise a second demon. With all that being said, tonight at 8 o'clock Central. I'm sorry. First off, let's go back. Live at the 2-minute warning on Vikings First and SKOL. So at the 2-minute warning, Dave goes live. I do not know if I'm joining you yet today, Dave. Send me the link. I'll let you know one way or the other. But after you watch the post game on Vikings First and SKOL, which starts at the 2 minutes, come on back. 2-minute warning, excuse me. Come on back to Rap's channel. That's Purple Pocket Podcast. Me and Rap will do rapping for days tonight. Again, we rotate each week so that you guys can all be in one chat. So come on by and stop in. We got the Real Forno show, 6 o'clock tomorrow, reacting to this game as well over on Vikings First and SKOL. And we got SKOL for Days at about 8:15 on Purple and Gold for Days. Shout out for Two Evil to Hope at the $5 super chat. Hi, Ice T. If the Vikings get in the playoffs to go one and done, I'll be upset if Hall isn't it. Well, that's my point. We would only get there if Hall is halfway decent. But shout out to Two Evil in the building and for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you as always. Yeah, that's right. Yes, Georgia. I'll try, Dave. I got some stuff I got to deal with, but I'll try. I'll try my best. I would say less than 50-50, but we'll see. With all of that said, I want to thank everybody for joining me in the building. If you didn't wipe your feet at the door, hit the like buttons on your way out. If this is your first time here and you don't already subscribe to Purple and Gold for Days, hit me up with a sub. Y'all, hey, I'm at 859, so I need 141 to get to that lovely 1,000 mark. So if y'all could give me that sub. And I appreciate every person that comes through on these channels, whether it's just mine alone or it's Vikings First and SKOL or Rap's channel and everybody else that I'm affiliated with, GG, Dave, Rhino and company on Uncensored, One Bar and Lupagus. We all say it, but I'm going to say it at the end. We appreciate you guys so very, very much. Could I have done a little, hey, blah, 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 this is what I think is going to happen? Yeah, I could have done that. Would have been kind of boring. But That's why I love interacting with you guys. Thank you, Grandpa Dave. I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody. So that's going to be it. My final score prediction one more time, 23-17. Vikings get this W, and we move to 5-4. And for the first time this season, we above 500. And no, 0-0 doesn't count because that's 0. We'll be above 500 for the first time this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you kindly, everybody, for joining me. Again, I do appreciate your support and your loyalty. And SKOL Vikings, let's win this game and come on back to Vikings First and SKOL at the 2-minute warning, and then come on over to Rap's channel, Purple Pocket Podcast at 8 o'clock Central Time. Appreciate you as always. SKOL, to the next episode. Let's get this W against them dirty birds. See y'all later.